Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Gianluca Massi speaking on the behalf of the Virtual Telescope Project, and I'm happy to host this live event from Rome, where I live. I hope you are having a good time wherever you are on this planet, and I also hope that you will have your time to have a look at the night sky in the next hours. Here I am to share with you some amazing images of something spectacular going on the sky right now. A wonderful conjunction involving Mars, the red planet, and the bright star Regulus, the brightest one in the León constellation, the zodiacal constellation of León. Unfortunately, right now, after many good nights in a row, the weather at our observing site is not good, unfortunately. So, at least so far, I can't open the observatory, and unfortunately, I fear we will have to keep this observatory closed. But no matter this, I have some great images I collected over the last 3 days that I want to share with you. One of them is exactly the image I'm using for the poster, and now I just want to share the image without any graphics, so that you can enjoy Mars, the red planet, and the blue Regulus star. They are having a conjunction. I won't try to explain what is happening, but before doing that, I want to thank all of you for joining. I want to thank the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope Project, and they are Software Bisque, C-Web, and Telescope Live. I also want to thank all the media around the planet which featured this live feed, making possible very likely for you to learn about this opportunity.
At Grainger, we have over 1 million products, including the ones that help keep your workplace safe and sound. Shop our vast inventory of safety products at Grainger.com.
Crystal clear skies. Anyway, planets, I said. Planet is a word coming from ancient Greek, just meaning wandering stars. So it just means that a planet is moving against the starry background, the so-called, at least in the ancient times, fixed stars. And basically the name planet was the best way for our ancestors to recognize by the simple name of the object their behavior. They were dancing, they were moving with an apparently erratic motion against the fixed stars. But erratic is perhaps not the best word, because the planets are, yes, they are moving, they are dancing, but they are not moving everywhere. They are moving along a very special path in the night sky through the zodiac, okay? The zodiac is where we also see the apparent motion of the sun during the year, and that apparent motion of our sun is actually the projection in the sky of the orbit the Earth is just doing around our very precious star. So all the planets are basically moving on the same plane. This is why they are always close to the ecliptic. I repeat, the ecliptic is the projection of the Earth orbit in the sky, that is the apparent path of the sun across the zodiac. Regulus here, now it's time to explain a bit about Regulus. Is a star. By chance, this star, belonging to the zodiacal constellation of Leo, is pretty close to the ecliptic, and this is why from time to time a planet can cross the spot of the sky where this object is. Let me see if I can share with you a star map, just making this pretty apparent, as many times an image is much better than 1,000 words. So I'm just trying to share with you just a few seconds so that at least I can share with you what I'm saying here. Okay, here we are, my friends. Let me remove a few lines, otherwise you will be confused. Here it is. So you are seeing here the Leo constellation, and you must admit that the shape of the constellation is just reminding us of the king of the animals, my friends. And as you can see here, you have the star Regulus, and a bit north you have Mars. The blue line is the ecliptic, that is, as I said, the projection in the night sky of the orbit of the Earth. And very close to the ecliptic, planets are moving themselves against the starry sky. And considering how close the Regulus is to the ecliptic, is not very uncommon that a solar system object is sharing the same region where Regulus is. This can happen with every star close to the ecliptic, but what is making things special here is that Regulus is a bright star. But keep in mind that this conjunction involving Regulus and Mars is just a matter of perspective, because as you can easily understand, planet Mars is incredibly closer than Regulus. To put all this in numbers, keep in mind that planet Mars is right now more or less 275 million kilometers from us, while the Regulus star is about 80 light years, that is 800 trillion kilometers. I would say a lot more, and this is why I underline that this is just a matter of perspective. The image I shared, this one, was taken a couple of nights ago. On 14th of June, the next day, I took this other image. Please consider that even if in the second image the separation, the angular distance between the two objects looks a bit larger, it's just because images have a different scale, because the next day, that is at the time of this second image, the two objects were a bit closer. I strongly invite you to really enjoy the wonderful colors of the objects involved. Mars with its legendary red color, as well as the blue tonality of that amazing diamond that Regulus is. So the red planet and such a very blue star. But perhaps the best image I have was taken yesterday, when basically the conjunction was already at its climax, and as you can see here, the vision is amazing. You really see the different colors, such a wonderful contrast between Mars and Regulus. But while their color is so different, basically they are at the opposite edges of this celestial rainbow, basically their intensity, their brightness is basically the same. So there is such a wonderful, elegant equilibrium between them, despite, as for the brightness, despite the amazing contrast in color. I really love this amazing sight, and I hope you are enjoying it the same, my friends. Having these nice conjunctions is not very common, not very rare as well, because from time to time a planet is crossing the right place to have a nice conjunction. Basically it can take a few years to have something very spectacular happening involving a bright star, but as I said, Regulus is truly spectacular. But if you look at the image I'm just showing now, you can see that between Mars, the red object, and Regulus, the blue one, you can see a very faint spot, a fuzzy object, actually a bit closer to Regulus, the bright object. That very pale spot, incredibly enough, is a distant dwarf galaxy, Leo 1. I'm amazed to share with you this amazing detail, but just consider again the perspective effects I was describing. So in this region of the sky you have such an accumulation of I would say perspective illusions, because you have planet Mars about 275 million of kilometers. You have Regulus at about, as I said to you, 800 trillion kilometers. That is Regulus, 800 trillion kilometers. But what about the galaxy we see here? 8 quintillion 200 quadrillion of kilometers. I know it sounds pretty funny to tell, but that is the huge distance between us and the pale, faint Leo 1 dwarf galaxy we see here in the image. Unfortunately, tonight, as I said,
finance professionals keep things in check for their clients.
well, the Virtual Telescope project will be there to share in real time those wonders with people joining from the comfort of their home. So, my friend, that said, I hope that this glimpse to the beautiful conjunction involving the red planet Mars and the bright blue, I would say, star Regulus in León has been a nice experience. I really hope you will consider join us again. I repeat, please subscribe our YouTube channel. If you want to support us, visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate in order to support our project. You know, we never ask for money. to people to join. As you see, you are here for free. We really believe that everyone has the right to look up and enjoy the universe where we live. But in order to keep our project alive, bills must be paid, so we want to thank the handful of friends supporting us from time to time. I managed to give a reference useful to those who want to support us on the chat. So if you want, consider supporting us. That's all, my friends. Gianluca Massi from Rome is sending to all of you his best wishes. I'm looking forward to have you on board again the next time, hopefully to spy a bright comet, who knows, but no matter what, it will be, as hopefully today, again a wonderful experience. Thank you very much, keep looking up and have fun with the night sky.